guys, this week we were supposed to respond to a theory that we felt aligned to in the readings of chapter 2, and I aligned with Super, I believe, because in the readings he was compared to Rogers, and he is most who I adhere to in the counseling theory classes that we had. One thing I really liked about the reading that I totally agreed with, because as you all can see, I am older, and had I had the curriculum plan that Super was advocating for in high school, I would have probably not made some of the changes or decisions that I'm making now. I like the way it revolves around, especially from the reading. It says, Super suggests that students gain career maturity by learning how to plan for the future and understand the benefits of planning. School curriculums that offer opportunities for students to make connections between classroom activities and future work roles were a most important outcome recommendation. Super also emphasized the importance of enhancing one's self-knowledge. He suggested that individuals who learn more about self will also learn to expand their career considerations, or to at least be more confident in their initial choices. The above contributions to career counseling have inspired computer assistant career guidance programs, as well as other resources that provide career information. And what this speaks to is essentially in the high schools, instead of the counselors doing so much testing and scheduling, maybe those 9th graders and 10th graders who are starting out in their vocational education, maybe expose them to careers and what paths they need to take, instead of waiting until the later years. Just like, in college, sometimes we don't even consider our major until the end of our junior year or the beginning of our junior year. And one thing about being a GA at the Career Center this semester that I'm learning is the earlier you can start planning, the better, because that's really why you're there at college. The ultimate goal is to get out of college and be prepared to go into your career. I really liked one of the sections in the book, especially going back to what I said about the 9th grade and the vocation. It says various traits of a career maturity, such as planning and responsibility and awareness of various aspects of a preferred vocation, proved to be irregular and unstable during a 3-year period in high school. However, those individuals who were seen as vocationally mature in the 9th grade were significantly more successful as young adults. This finding suggests that there is a relationship between career maturity and adolescent achievement of a significant degree of self-awareness, knowledge of occupations, and developed planning capability. Thus, 9th grade vocational behavior does have some predictive validity for the future. In other words, boys who are successful who successfully accomplish developmental tasks at periodic stages tend to achieve greater maturity later in life. And basically what this is saying, and that I agree with, is your maturity kind of defines how well you're going to do in the career. Maybe not go by your numbers age. For example, my little boy, well, I'll call him little, he's big. My freshman out at Conley, he had shop class last semester. Looking at his physique, you wouldn't even know that he was 15, but he enjoyed the class and the benefits on a different level than even some of the seniors that were taking the course, because that was appealing to him, appealing to things that he does with his dad here at the house. He likes to fix things. He likes to put things back together. So by having the shop class offered, and internships possibly such as a places like Brown and Wood, or wherever, where students can get paid to do internships there. No, he may not want to be an automotive technician, but to get some internship and practice under his belt, doing something like this can lead to electrical engineering. It can lead to many things. Many problems have to be solved by somebody fixing something or putting something back together. So I think one thing I like about this is we can't go on your age, your numerical age. It's your psychological readiness for whatever task is at hand. And another thing I liked in the book, what it said was, in the early years of the 21st century, there appears to be an increased interest in the interrelationship of life roles. Well, I totally agree with this. And last week, I had a person come into the Career Center, and we were talking about career exploration, and she really felt like the major she had chosen, she wasn't going to be happy. So we were talking about the tests and the surveys that she could take to match herself with a job. And it came up, well, be passionate about what you want to do. This is your job. This is what you're going to have to do for the rest of your life. Be passionate about it. It shouldn't seem like work, quote unquote. You should want to get up every day and go to your job. And the question came up about, well, if you're not happy at work, you can still be happier in other aspects. Well, I taught school in my early marriage before I stayed home with my boys. And no, I was not happy in my profession. I cried every day to work. I didn't like what I did. As I said, if I had someone come out in the high schools and do the things that Super suggests in the reading, I think things would have turned out a whole lot better for me. But no, if you're not happy in your job, it's going to spill over into every other aspect of your life. It's going to spill over into your marriage, your children. It's going to spill over everywhere, because essentially you spend more time at work than you do anywhere else. So it's important to pick what profession that you want and be passionate about it, so it doesn't spill over into the rest of your life. So that was one thing that I told the girl last week, that absolutely, if you're not happy in your profession, it spills over. And in the 21st century, there's job turnovers. You outgrow, or you may get laid off from another job. Well, in that amount of time, you may have been prepared to do another job. So Super's life stage model really appealed to me over that. It says that one thing that I super agreed with was that Super's early work on life roles and their interrelationships should provide the impetus for more research on multiple life roles for career and personal counseling. I also researched Super online, and one thing that I agreed with, that he kind of coincides with Rogers, is know thyself. It says Donald Super created a useful framework for conceptualizing the constantly evolving nature of career development. The theory represents the career process as one in which a person is confronted with various stages that he or she must undergo and complete before moving on to the next stage. And if you're interested in reading the article, the name of it is Donald Super Career Counseling Theory, and I got it in out of Career Counseling, The Evolution of Counseling, as my reference. And again, one of the things that I really liked that stood out was that, especially coming from changing over from school counseling, that school curriculums offer programs for students to make connections between classroom activities and future work roles. And that includes internships going into college. I believe it is the more that options can be, you can be exposed to, the earlier, the better off and the more happy you'll be later on in life. Thank you all for your time, and you guys have a great week.